Hey guys, I'm going to be sharing with you my to-be read pile for October, November 2024. You guys, seriously, I can't believe I'm saying my TBR for October, November. Is it just me? I feel like not that the year necessarily just started, but I feel like we should be more like at the midway point of the year rather than like kind of near the tail end of the year. Seriously, this year feels like it has flown by and I don't like that. So yeah, you guys, TBR for October, November. The previous TBR, August, September, went very well, got everything done, and as what usually happens to me, I feel like my TBR is usually overly ambitious, but then somehow I end up getting done like a week to a week and a half early that the brand new TBR, I can sit and start early. So yeah, you guys, as always, any books that I read, the written reviews will always pop up immediately on my Goodreads page if you want to read my thoughts on books like early. As far as video reviews go, they come out eventually. I am so far behind on my filmed reviews. It's not even funny. I'm still trying to get up reviews from late 2023. You guys, I haven't even, like, all of my 2024 book reviews have been filmed because I film everything immediately, but it's just the thing of uploading. You know, everything is filmed, but it's just a matter of uploading because I can only upload so many videos a month, you know, and book reviews, I tend to do anywhere from 1 to 3 book reviews a month because I have all these other things I like doing too. Like, I love reviewing television shows, you know, so yeah, filmed book reviews will arrive very far in the future, but they will come. Like I said, if you want to know my thoughts on books immediately, definitely go to my Goodreads page. So let's get going with what I plan on reading for the next 2 months. As I've been doing for the entirety of this year so far, I have been trying to go through my Philippa Gregory collection and either reread books or fill in the gaps of some of her books that I have not read yet. So there's books that I'm reading for the first time. This month, though, for my reread of Philippa Gregory, yeah, both books, no, just one book. Yeah, one book is a reread and the other is going to be one that is brand new to me. So yeah, the reread of Philippa Gregory is going to be The Boleyn Inheritance. And you guys, this is one of my top favorites by Philippa Gregory. Like, after The Other Boleyn Girl and her Cousins War series, those are my top favorites, but yeah, this is right on up there as well. The Boleyn Inheritance pretty much follows in the aftermath of everything that goes down in The Other Boleyn Girl, if you can't tell from The Boleyn Inheritance. And yeah, this follows Jane Parker, who was the sister-in-law to Anne Boleyn, and it also follows Henry VIII's his which wife? The fifth wife. Yeah, the fifth wife, Catherine Howard, and also Anne of Cleves. Right? Yeah, this also covers Anne of Cleves, which was when she was the fourth wife. So yeah, we're covering the fourth and fifth wives of Henry VIII in this, plus the sister-in-law of Anne Boleyn, Jane Parker. Yeah, I freaking love this book, so I can't wait to get to my reread of it. And then as far as what is brand new to me when it comes to Philippa Gregory, it is this one right here, The Taming of the Queen. I about said Taming of the Shrew for a minute, but that's Shakespeare. Yeah, The Taming of the Queen. And this is focusing on Catherine Parr, who was the sixth and final wife of Henry VIII. And I adore Catherine Parr, you guys. She's kind of one of the neglected wives of Henry VIII that doesn't often get focused on nearly enough, you know, unlike Catherine of Aragon and Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, you know. So I am definitely curious Philippa Gregory's take on Catherine Parr. We shall see how it goes. And next up, I plan on reading this historical mystery trilogy right here by Nick Drake. And My understanding of what these books are, they are historical fiction in the mystery genre, mystery thriller genre, I suppose, and they all take place like in ancient Egypt, if you will. And these are actually my sister's books. My sister, she has a fascination with ancient Egypt and whatnot. So when I first saw her get these books, I was like, oh, these sound really good. And she has read these, and she said she really liked and enjoyed them, and she thinks I will definitely really like and enjoy them too, because she knows my taste when it comes to historical fiction. So yeah, I'm just going to read the synopsis of the very first book in the series, because I don't want to accidentally spoil anything from these other two. But yeah, the very first book in the series is this one right here called Nefertiti. Like I said, all of this is by Nick Drake. And let's see, the plot of this. She is called the Perfect One, the most famous and beautiful woman in the ancient world. She rules with her husband, Akhenaten, over the most powerful, sophisticated, and affluent society the world has ever seen, and across an empire that stretches from Africa through the Middle East. But behind these glorious scenes, an epic power struggle is taking place. Nefertiti and Akhenaten inaugurate an enlightened new religion and build a magnificent and mysterious new capital in which to worship the sun god, the Aten. The delicate balance of power in Egypt is thrown into confusion. The priesthood is stripped of its traditional authority and wealth. The army is enraged by the growing turbulence in the empire, and the people resent the loss of their gods. Old alliances are brought into doubt, and generations of inherited power and wealth are suddenly at stake. And then, just days before the crucial festival to celebrate the new capital, Nefertiti suddenly vanishes. Rahotep, the youngest chief detective in the Thebes division, with a rising reputation for his original methods, you gotta flip over here, is secretly assigned by Akhenaten himself to investigate. He has 10 days to find the queen and return her in time for the celebrations. Success will bring glory, but if Ra fails, he and his family will die. Okay, I'm a little amused to some degree with the plot synopsis of this, because whenever I think, maybe it's just, correct me if I'm mistaken, you guys, maybe it's just my complete ignorance, please correct me, but whenever I think of ancient Egypt, I don't think about them having like a police detective force in ancient Egypt, like during this time period, like somebody solving crime. And that's what this sounds like. It sounds like a mystery crime thriller with like this police officer trying to find Queen Nefertiti and whatnot, and he has 10 days to do it. So yeah, I am no ancient Egypt expert or anything, but yeah, this does seriously sound really fun and intriguing and exciting. I can't wait to get to it. So yeah, like I said, this first book is called Nefertiti, and then the second book in the series is called for the life of me, I can never pronounce King Tut's full name. But yeah, the second book in the series is after, the infamous boy King Tut. And I just had a pronunciation from my sister. I kept going to my sister saying, okay, how do you pronounce King Tut's actual full name? And she kept telling me, and I kept putting like a million extra syllables in there, and I couldn't get my tongue to spit it out the way that it needs to be spit out. But yeah, the second book is named after King Tut, okay? And then the third book in the series is called just Egypt. And the whole trilogy, you know what? I'm not quite sure what the whole trilogy is called. Does it have I don't really see anything, but each book has like a little subtitle. Like the first one has like Book of the Dead, and then the second one has the Book of Shadows, and then this one has the Book of Chaos. But yeah, I honestly can't wait to get to these, because they definitely sound like they're going to be my cup of tea. After all that, I plan on reading the third book in the Mr. Darcy and Miss Tilney mystery series, and this is The Perils of Lady Catherine de Bourgh by Claudia Garay. And yeah, 2 books into this series. I really adore this series so far, and really what you need to know about this series by Claudia Garay, it takes place like post all of your favorite Jane Austen works, post Pride and Prejudice, post Northanger Abbey, post Sense and Sensibility, yada yada yada. And yeah, we're following the character of Mr. Darcy, who is the son of Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet from Pride and Prejudice, and Miss Juliet Tilney, who is the daughter of characters from Northanger Abbey. And like I said, this is book 3 in this particular series. And I'll go ahead and read the plot synopsis because these books can very much kind of stand on their own in some ways. You don't really have to, I think you can kind of just pick them up randomly, and I don't think you'll be lost or confused. They are rather standalone from what I've read with the first 2 books. So let's see. Someone is trying to kill Lady Catherine de Bourgh, esteemed aunt of Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy, generous patroness of Mr. William Collins, a woman of rank who rules over the estate of Rosings Park with an unimpeachable sense of propriety. Who would dare? Lady Catherine summons her grandnephew, Mr. Jonathan Darcy, and his investigative companion, Miss Juliet Tilney, to find out. After a year apart, Jonathan and Juliet are thrilled to be reunited, even if the circumstances are less than ideal. Also less than ideal, their respective fathers, Mr. Fitzwilliam Darcy and Mr. Henry Tilney, have accompanied the young detectives to Rosings and find themselves immediately at odds. With the attempts against Lady Catherine escalating, and no one among the list of prime suspects seemingly capable of committing all the attacks, the pressure on Jonathan and Juliet mounts, even as more gentle feelings between the 2 of them begin to bloom. The race is now on to provoke 2 confessions, one from the attempted murderer before it's too late, and one perhaps of love. So yeah, these, if you can't tell, these are like little quaint, cozy murder mysteries in some way, just involving all the characters from the world of Jane Austen and whatnot. And yeah, the 2 main characters obviously having a bit of a romantic attachment of sorts with one another, which just keeps escalating and slowly building each novel, you guys. When are they finally going to get together? Next up, I plan on reading this book right here, and that is The Blackbird Oracle by Deborah Harkness. And this comes from Deborah Harkness's A Discovery of Witches world. I read all of the books published in that universe. I read them back in, was it 2022? I think, I believe I read all these books back in early 2022, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was 2023. You know what? I could be mistaken. It was either 2022 or 2023, you guys, that I read all of the books in A Discovery of Witches. I read the trilogy, and then I also read like this other spin-off book that kind of takes place a little after. So yeah, this is yet again another spin-off book in that world. And I'm not even going to sit and read the plot synopsis of this because I feel like it might be a little vaguely spoilery to some degree, but all you need to know about Deborah Harkness's A Discovery of Witches universe is that it takes place in our modern world, and it follows a group of like vampires and a group of witches and all that sort of stuff, you know, all the good stuff. And it's about a witch and a vampire who get together when they're not supposed to, because all of these groups are supposed to be divided. There's like this strict divide between the groups, and they're not allowed to like intermingle with one another at all. But a witch and a vampire, they find a way, and they work together to kind of defeat like this conspiracy that's kind of going on behind the scenes and whatnot. And yeah, and they unite in their love of one another to save their world. It's a whole big thing. It's a love story, you know. That's all you got to know. It's a love story between a vampire and a witch. So yeah, this book is taking place after all of those events and whatnot. I'm not quite sure how far past those events. I guess I'll find out. And yeah, the trilogy is still pretty fresh in my memory, so hopefully I'll be good to go with this book and I won't be lost and confused and have forgot things. I feel like there's some things I've forgotten, but hopefully this book will re-jog my memory. And I do have room for one more book, and I'm going to pull something randomly out from my TBR jar right here, you guys. So let's see. This is always like my favorite part of the video, you guys. I always just love just reaching in here, pulling out some random book and seeing what it is, because this always allows me to read something sooner rather than later, because I have so many books. Okay, what is it? I should have shuffled. I never shuffled this. I should have shuffled it. I picked something out randomly in the middle. Hopefully it's something good. Okay, The Unveiling. What is it? Oh, yes. I love this author too. Where is the book? I think I see the book. So the book that I picked from my TBR jar is this one right here. And I said, oh, I love this author. This is actually a book written by 3 authors. One of my favorite authors is in this list. We have Karen White, Beatrice Williams, and Lauren Willig, The Forgotten Room. Yeah, I love Lauren Willig. You guys, I love her Pink Carnation series. It's very reminiscent to something like the Bridgerton series. If you love Bridgerton, please, for the love of God, go check out Lauren Willig's Pink Carnation series, because I think you'll have a good time with that. But yeah, this is called The Forgotten Room, and let me tell y'all what this is about. In 1945, when critically wounded Captain Cooper Ravenel is brought to a private hospital on Manhattan's Upper East Side, young Dr. Kate Schuler discovers a complex mystery that connects 3 generations of women in her family to a single extraordinary room in a Gilded Age mansion. Oh, I'm already intrigued. Who is the woman in Captain Ravenel's miniature portrait who looks so much like Kate? And why is she wearing the ruby pendant handed down to Kate by her mother? In their pursuit of answers, they find themselves drawn into the turbulent stories of Olive Van Allen, driven in the Gilded Age from riches to rags, who hired out as a servant in the very house her father designed, and Lucy Young, and Lucy Young, who in the Jazz Age came from Brooklyn to Manhattan seeking the father she had never known. But are Kate and Cooper ready for the secrets that will be revealed in the Forgotten Room? Ooh. So, yeah, because I've read another book by these 3 authors, because they love getting together and like writing books together. The previous book that I read from them, they each wrote from like 3 different points of view, and each like character, they all tied in together somehow, whatever the larger story is. So I'm assuming this is going to be the same way, that each author has their own character that they're writing, and it all connects eventually by the end in some crazy way, which is what this sounds like. Something about an extraordinary room in a Gilded Age mansion, you guys. I'm here for it. So you guys, that is it for what I plan on reading for the next 2 months. In the comments below, any of these books that you guys have read and enjoyed, or maybe you didn't like some of these, just let me know so I can be, forewarned, if you will. So yeah, you guys, what do you plan on reading for the next couple months? Just let me know. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.